What is your go-to never-fail joke? A woman is walking home with her three daughters, Rose, Lily, and Cinderblock. Rose asks her mother, "Mom, why did you name me Rose?" To which her mother replies, "Well, sweetie, when we were coming home from the hospital with you, a rose fell on your head." Lily, curious now, asks her mother, "Mom, why did you name me after a flower too?" To which her mother replies, "Well, sweetie, when we were coming home from the hospital with you, a lily fell on your head." Cinderblock says to her mother, "Blah blah blah. I was always told you say, shut up, brick." Two altar boys are fishing on a dock. One of the boys gets a bite and struggles to reel him in. When he finally gets the best of the fish, he snatches him up and proclaims to the other altar boy, "Look at this big sumbitch." The other altar boy says, "You can't say that you're an altar boy," to which he explains, "That's the name of the fish, sumbitch." "Wow, well that is a big sumbitch, let's go show it to the priest." The two boys run up to the priest yelling, "Priest, look at this big sumbitch we caught." "Priest, you boys can't talk like that, you're altar boys." "Altar boys, priest, that's the name of the fish, sumbitch." "Priest, well that is a nice sumbitch, let's go catch some more of those sumbitches, and show 'em to the cardinal." So the priest and the boys catch some more of those sumbitches and carry them to show the cardinal. "Cardinal, look at all these sumbitches we caught." "Cardinal, I should have you all excommunicated for language like that." Altar boys, well that's the name of the fish, sumbitch. "Cardinal, I never in my life have seen such a fine bunch of sumbitches, let's take them to the nuns, and see if she'll cook up these sumbitches." So the altar boys, the priest and the cardinal go see the nun. "Nun, can you cook up these sumbitches for us?" "Nun, I ain't cooking nothing if you boys are gonna talk like that." Altar boys, "Nun, that's the name of the fish, sumbitch." "Nun, well since you boys went through the trouble of catching all these sumbitches, I reckon I could fry these sumbitches up." That night the Pope is visiting town, and sets down for supper with the altar boys, priest, cardinal, and nun. Altar boys, "I can't believe we caught all these sumbitches." Priest, "These are the best sumbitches I have ever ate." Cardinal, "Nun, you cooked these sumbitches just right." Nun, "I sure did, you boys gotta catch some more of these sumbitches." The Pope looks around at everyone with a surprised look on his face. He cracks a grin and says, "You all motherfuckers are all right. This is my lost essay, thanks for funding it." A man had been drinking at a bar all night and pukes down the front of his shirt. "Shit, I can't go home like this, my wife will kill me." The bartender sees this and says, "Put a $20 bill in your pocket, and when she sees the puke tell her some drunk puked on you and gave you $20 for dry cleaning." So the guy goes home and his wife sees the puke on his shirt and asks what happened, to which he replies, "A drunk guy puked on me and he gave me $20 to pay for dry cleaning." To which his wife says, "Okay, well then why do you have $40 in your hand?" "Because he also shit in my pants." Dad is listening to his daughter say her prayers before bedtime. She says, "God bless mommy and God bless daddy and God bless grandma and goodbye grandpa." He asks her, "Why did you say that?" "I don't know, I just felt like saying it." The next day, grandpa drops dead. "Wow, thanks Dad, that's an odd coincidence." A month later at bedtime, the daughter says, "God bless mommy and daddy and goodbye grandma." Sure enough, the next day grandma breathes her last earthly breath. The dad realizes this is more than a coincidence, but he is not sure what to do. He doesn't want to disturb his wife by telling her, grandma and grandpa were her parents. Months go by and one night the man is listening to his daughter saying her prayers at bedtime. "God bless mommy." She turns her head and looks straight at him, and, "Goodbye daddy." "What? Are you sure honey?" She nods. The man's heart begins racing and he breaks out in a sweat. He is so upset, he can't sleep at all that night. The next day he goes off to work, but locks himself in his office. He takes the phone off the hook, cancels all his meetings and awaits the inevitable. He stays at work past 5 because he feels secure there. He watches the hours tick by. Finally it is midnight and, drenched in sweat, he realizes he has cheated death. He drives home drenched in sweat and with all his nerves frazzled. His wife is up and waiting for him. "Where the hell were you today?" He replies, "Don't shout, I've had an absolutely miserable day." His wife then says, "You had a miserable day? I'm the one who had a miserable day." First, the milkman drops dead on the steps. Whole thing done in thick fake accents. A Russian, a Frenchman, and an Englishman are in an art museum admiring a painting of Adam and Eve in the Gardens of Eden. The Englishman takes a look at the painting and says, "They look so calm, they must be British." The Frenchman responds, No. They're naked, so beautiful, they must be French." The Russian says, "They have no food, no shelter, nothing but an apple to eat, and they are being told this is paradise? They're clearly Russian." A woman is sitting at her recently deceased husband's funeral. A man leans into her and asks, "Do you mind if I say a word?" "No, go right ahead." The woman replies. The man stands, clears his throat, says, "Plethora," and sits back down. "Thanks," the woman says. "That means a lot. Man. I love reading a new joke that is a grand slam. If I had a time machine I would go back 45 seconds ago so I could read this joke again for the first time. God bless you." A lady approaches her priest and tells him, "Father, I have a problem. I have 2 female talking parrots, but they only know how to say one thing." "What do they say?" the priest inquired. "They only know how to say, 'Hi, we're prostitutes. Wanna have some fun?'" "That's terrible," the priest exclaimed. "But I have a solution to your problem. Bring your 2 female parrots over to my house and I will put them with my 2 male talking parrots whom I taught to pray and read the Bible. My parrots will teach your parrots to stop saying that terrible phrase and your female parrots will learn to praise and worship." "Thank you," the woman responded. The next day the woman brings her female parrots to the priest's house. His 2 male parrots are holding rosary beads and praying in their cage. The lady puts her 2 female parrots in with the male parrots and the female parrots say, "Hi, we're prostitutes, wanna have some fun?" One male parrot looks over at the other male parrot and exclaims, "Put the beads away. Our prayers have been answered." An old Italian man lived alone in the country. It was spring and he wanted to dig his tomato garden, as he had done every year. But it was very hard work for the aging man as the ground was hard. His only son, Vincent, who used to help him, was currently in prison. The old man wrote a letter to his son and described his predicament. "Dear Vincent, I am feeling pretty bad because it looks like I won't be able to plant my tomato garden this year. I'm just getting too old to be digging up a garden plot. If only you were here my troubles would be over. I know you would dig the plot for me. Love, Dad." A few days later he received a letter from his son. "Dear Dad, not for nothing, but don't dig up that garden. That's where I buried the bodies. Love, Vinny." At 4 a.m. the next morning, FBI agents and local police arrived at the old man's house and dug up the entire area. However, they didn't find any bodies, so they apologized to the old man and left. That same day the old man received another letter from his son. "Dear Dad, go ahead and plant the tomatoes now. That's the best I could do under the circumstances. Love, Vinny." That's the most heartwarming joke I've ever heard. Thanks for watching till the end.